Okay, give me a careful roll.
Okay.
You're shooting for a 4. You are one below, so you can succeed with a complication or not a complete success, or you can fate point it if you'd like.
Would my sportsman work?
Sportsman, let's see. Not in this case. Your flower child might, but in this case, actually, no, it wouldn't necessarily help you in this. You were determining, or what you're trying to determine is that you do have a bead on the threats. With the 3, you feel like you generally do. You have eyes on Rosie.
Okay. Yeah, then I'll meet it with a consequence. I'm close enough. I don't.
Okay. Uh, so as you are aiming your firearm and trying to make sure that everything is under control, you have a line of fire. There is a sound in the brush coming from around here.
Oh
Oh,
no.
there's another. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm
I was gonna
lagging a
say, oh
little.
no, that's where I was.
Yes, but there is a sound. There is a sound coming from the direction. You can see that the body of your doppelganger is still there on the ground, not moving.
I mean, I guess my attention would turn to whatever's closest because that's gonna be a more immediate problem.
Okay. Um. Then who is closest to Daniel? Anastasia.
Yes.
You feel a chill wind brush by you in the forest. You give me a careful roll. 2. Something's off. You aren't sure what. If you choose to invoke, you may be able to catch it. But there's too much going on right now with you not knowing where you are, you having all these strangers here. There's a firearm present now, although he's not waving it around like a madman. This Daniel fellow seems like he's just trying to keep things under control. And your fellow wanderers, as it were, seems to have all gotten at least a small taste of some danger in combat. If
Well, I do
Mhm.
raise my hand to Daniel and say that I am going to retrieve the knife. Sort of my hands up, making sure it's okay with him.
Yeah, he probably would see and just go, yeah, just be careful of and he kind of like points to the general direction of the sound. He's like, whoever or whatever it is ain't come out yet.
I will lean over. I'm not going to spend a point because I don't know what's in the woods, but I do want to arm myself because I feel the danger rustling out there.
Of course, Daniel,
Um,
you take 1 point of stress.
no.
Uh, Anastasia, you are fine for now. The rest of you notice that there's blood trickling down Daniel's neck. A small trail of it.
Oh.
Like a bite mark or a cut?
Single puncture wound. Very small.
I do I notice we all notice this?
You can see it's wet, so you may not notice it right away, but you do. It is pretty apparent at some point. It looks like he got cut or scraped or something poked him. The forest does have brambles and thorns. So, Daniel, you don't even notice it, actually. You can't feel it. You just, other people could see it on you, but you don't even actually feel the pain of it.
You seem to be wounded. May I look?
What? I mean, he actually kind of starts patting himself, like looking around. Obviously, he can't see his own neck, so he won't see it. And he'll just kind of go, "Yeah, I guess." And he's probably like touching his face to see if he's cut or something.
Your face is fine, but the source of the blood, if you feel near your neck, you will feel like the smallest tear in the skin. Like you can feel it, like you've been almost punched with something, enough that there's a small dip or hole, tiny, not very big at all, maybe no bigger than a cat's fang would leave. Anastasia, are you trying to take a closer look?
Yes, I would like to step closer with the knife pointed down and one hand up.
Okay.
May I observe your wounds?
Yeah, and he'll turn himself or like turn his head so that it kind of stretches so he can check the hole.
I will check that wound. Oh no! What?
On the other side of Daniel, as you're checking the wound, you see your own face looking back at you with bloody lips, hiding right behind him, perfectly within his silhouette. A version of you with sharp, long teeth, canines extended, staring wild-eyed, as if the taste it had gotten of Daniel's blood was intoxicating. It's staring at you and hoping for a moment that you share in its exhilaration, or rather, that you share in her exhilaration. She's staring at you with the thirst of blood fresh on her expression. Daniel hasn't noticed it. In fact, no one can really see this person but you. If you freak out now and alert them, Daniel is holding a firearm, and you still don't know how many threats are here in the forest. How do you respond?
Um, I shiver slightly with pleasure, but then I do grab Daniel, move him back from her, and try to stab at the doppelganger of me.
Okay, Daniel, give me what do you need for this? You need a careful check for this, I think. Give me a careful check. You're trying to get out of the way. You got a 3. You go ahead and give me a forceful roll, Anastasia. You have the sword of the garden, a knife in hand, so you have a +1.
I'm sorry, what did you want me to roll?
Give me a forceful roll.
Okay.
So you roll a 4. Let's see what she rolls. A -1. You, whether you intend to or not, plunge this knife at her, and in the ensuing melee, brawl, whatever you want to call it, the knife goes directly under the rib cage and into the heart, piercing it in one motion. Daniel, this woman has blood all over her mouth. She was right behind you. And as her heart is pierced, she is reaching out towards you to try and grab at you, as if you were more important than her own life, just being able to feed. It's not enough, however. Her eyes begin to go blank, her body goes limp, and she slumps over forward onto Anastasia, a woman now holding her murderous, monstrous double, the other Anastasia looking quite pale, gaunt, the eyes now feral upon closer inspection. Anastasia, this woman that you're holding feels approximately 30 to 40 pounds lighter than you are. She is deceased, however. You are a doctor, but you're also someone holding a knife. You could hear it. You could just hear the squelch, the crack, the way that she went limp suddenly. It's not like the movies. There's a twitch, of course, but she is quite dead.
Anastasia will put her on the ground and lay her out like flat and close her eyes. She never lets go of that knife. Like she'll pull it out, wipe it off.
Daniel, your gun, powerful as it may be, is not an all-seeing eye, and you are surrounded by woods you are not familiar with, even though you are an expert in plant life. If Anastasia hadn't been checking your wound, it's possible that this vampire, or whatever it was, this ghoul, could have perhaps just taken your life before you realized what was happening. That pierce that you felt in your neck, now that there's been time and a little bit of distance from what left it, deeper than it feels. Not that far away from an important vein. Seeking it, in fact. Maybe perhaps a half an inch away from piercing it entirely. But you are alive right now. What does your experience tell you in a situation like this? You're in an unfamiliar area. There are unfamiliar animals, and it seems like they are very unfriendly.
That we need to leave because that's not good.
Yeah, you could have stopped it there. We just need to leave. Is Doppelganger Rosie, has she turned around to drag the body away yet?
Yeah, once that all, I mean, she'll
Rosie's
she'll
gonna
go
chase
to.
after her with her,
You're gonna
with her hammer.
you're gonna chase?
Yeah.
Oh no!
With her back turned, this is the time.
Are you gonna run her down?
Oh, she's gonna get attacked from behind, dude. It's gonna be dirty, yeah.
Okay, go ahead and give me a forceful roll. Yeah.
Fuck this crazy cannibal bitch.
4 versus a 3. You lay 1 physical stress on her, but I will tell you that if you invoke, you will KO her. So if you have a fate point you want to spend it, just put her down in 1 round. You may want to do that.
Alright, I'm gonna invoke insane grip strength with this hammer.
So you're able to hold on to that hammer for the full amount of force to put down onto this woman as she's running. You hit her. Where do you try to hit her with the hammer, I guess? Back of the head?
Hell yeah.
You hear another crunch of skull, and the alternative version of you, this doppelganger, stumbles forward, falls in an arc of crimson gore, and hits the ground, staring sideways and blank, just like the others, dead and motionless. She falls into the shadows beneath one of the impossibly tall mushrooms of this region of the forest. The version of Susanna that she was dragging remains unconscious, and it seems as though you have taken this threat out. With Daniel's plan of action, going anywhere right now, if you want to follow the map or at least try to, would mean going north. If everyone's in agreement on that, then north would be the direction to head into. And I assume everyone, well, mostly everyone is. Does anyone disagree with the plan of going, at least escaping this area or moving towards the graveyard?
Rosie's gonna return back to the group and say, sorry y'all had to see that. We could probably trace her back to whatever cabin she came from, but I think we should go to that graveyard.
Rosie, give me a actually no, you're getting a compel right now. The exertion that you just put out of killing 2 people with a hammer, your chest feels extremely tight at the moment.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Could be, maybe it's the adrenaline starting to wear off. For 1 fate point, you are starting to have heart palpitations.
Okay, sure. I'll take that compel. Rosie's she's gonna brace herself against a tree, just start, like, grabbing her chest and, like, sort of panic breathing.
I feel like Daniel would see that and probably come over and just be like, hey, just you gotta take slow, deep breaths, all right? You
Yeah,
gotta,
yeah, you're
y-
right. I'm sorry. It's just this is a lot. Ugh.
yeah. No. I just had and he kind of, I guess he'd look back over at, I guess, the body of like the vampire version of Anastasia and just go like, yeah, we're all dealing with a lot. It's perfectly normal, but you seem to be having a real rough time. So just low and slow.
Yeah, I just need a minute. I'll be behind. It's fine. I just need
Yeah,
a minute.
you don't got to be behind or nothing. We'll wait. I don't think the sun is getting too low, but once we get to that cemetery, there's at least going to be all those headstones. Hopefully, they'll act as a bit of a barrier we can hide out around.
Can I look over Rosie's condition?
Quick assessment as a doctor. Sure.
Yeah.
Give me a give me a clever roll. Well, do you want to spend a fate point?
I do. I guess Angel of the Battlefield. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, she has an irregular heartbeat right now, probably caused by exertion / panic / stress. It's also possible that she takes medication for this condition, but she may not have it on her as she is in the forest with no idea where she is. You also don't know much more about her condition personally. You can't tell. You just know that it's heart arrhythmia, possibly caused by damage to the cardiovascular valves.
I will be touching you a moment. And I do reach over to sort of touch her neck to count her heartbeats. You are having irregular heart palpitations.
Rosie's just gonna drop the hammer and just let her have at her, while still like panicking a bit.
Please take deep breaths. I think we should retreat to the graveyard and de-stress for some time.
Oh, the DM crashed.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I got him!
God damn.
His doppelganger got him, you see.
Yeah, really.
Okay, be careful since you're in the same room, you know. That is not him.
Lol. He'll be like 2 minutes. Unlike my computer. Also, yay for having a doctor in the crew at all.
It's not actually useful. They're human.
You could probably like take a pen and intubate Rosie if you needed to. Just the old hole in the neck.
I don't think that's really her problem. You asked with her barehanded, yes, but she wiped the blood off. It's fine.
I just freaking the whole pen through the neck thing just happens so often in media.
Oh, it's because they don't know how to apparently do a Heimlich maneuver. I guess they usually do it when like allergies happen, so the throat is closing up on its own or whatever. But it's still like, please do not teach this to the regular populace. They will try and do badly.
Yeah, no. Probably a good time to grab a drink.
You know what? You're right, and I will be right back.
Do it.
Alrighty, well, there was my first crash. Haha. Hee hee ha. Sorry about that. Where did Mikey go? Did he also crash? What? That doesn't make any sense. What was happening to him last time too? I made jokes that it was oh sorry, sneeze, sympathy crashing. I am back. I guess what I'll do for now, just try turning off the fog, maybe. I don't think that's what's doing it, but you never know. Yeah. You never know.
I'm back. What? Everybody crashed.
Oh dear. It seems like Windows is not playing nice.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, what happened to Mikey?
He also crashed.
Man, what the hell?
It's a real life stand attack against all of us.
Yes, the audio demons are real. So if you
And
went
they're in the
meta,
house.
yeah, if you went meta enough to make a Lewis demon that literally does nothing but causes computer crashes, I'd be all on board. So
It could legitimately be found, right? Possibly. I mean, I don't know how it would do that to two separate computers though, but it
I
could
do.
be.
it lives in the internet and specifically targets nerds.
If it's a graphics thing and he's already got like a weird card problem, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure my issue might be GPU, I think, maybe. Oops, started the wrong game. Because I was working on this earlier and what's going on here? I was working on it earlier and also testing it with Discord. I did not crash at all for like a while. And now it's like, and I was running some pretty graphically intensive stuff. So all I can think is there is some module running right this particular moment. I was also running music at the same time in the program, so I don't actually know what could be causing it. The only thing I can do is putz around with some of my power settings and hope that that provides some level of stability. If it gets to be too bad, I will do a workaround to make sure that we finish this session. By God. And then I don't know what. One day throw this graphics card into the garbage where it belongs. I'm pretty sure it's the 5600. That's the AMD 5600 XT. That is the name of the card. It is a monster for doing this to me.
Is
At
it
a time,
specifically your card?
I don't
Your
know,
graphics
probably.
card?
Something's got to be blamed, and I can't beat cannoli anymore.
It can't be cannoli. Oh. I
Okay.
thought you'd have to replace your motherboard.
That's what I thought at first, but like now I'm looking more. Now that I've like looked into it a bit more because I can finally get. You know what? I'll talk about it after this.
Okay, yes, sorry.
Yes, hello.
Okay, Mikey is back.
Ah,
Everyone is back. So yes, your medical assessment of Rosie reveals that she does indeed have some kind of irregular heartbeat. You can't tell without more equipment, but you do know that right now the stress of that is probably putting. She's having a tightness of the chest, panic breathing, probably a panic attack of some kind. Wouldn't be surprising, psychologically speaking.
Amazingly, he crashed again.
Oh my god. It's
It's just dominoes.
This
So
hurts.
bad.
what one person goes, another person comes back, that person goes, and it just keeps happening.
Mikey, are you holding steady?
Yes, so far.
Oh man.
Welcome to Crash Jar Jar's adventure.
Okay, so what do we name our Lewis demon?
Crasher?
It's gotta be a music thing. Is that a music thing?
I don't know. I would have to look that up.
Let me look on Spotify of Crasher.
I was gonna say there's I was trying to think of it, and there's When the Walls Came Tumbling Down by Def Leppard.
Oh, pretty good.
It's too long.
Well, there's a Radiohead album, OK Computer. Could do something like that.
Actually, yeah, that's
Starbucks.
that's
has a
perfect. That's
song.
perfectly passive aggressive. Okay, computer.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, computer.
There's literally a one that's called Crashing.
Just straight crashing.
It's gotta
I
be more than one letter though.
yeah.
Oh, it's C-Bat. This is the C-Bat demon. Oh, I hurt myself.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Let me just.
Don't be cannoli. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm not gonna beat cannoli. I'm not.
I was gonna say, you know what? I'm only now starting to realize that every time my computer has crashed, my cat has been asleep in my lap, and I'm not saying it's her fault,
Oh,
but I am saying I'm about to make her leave the room.
oh
Oh
no. What is Kitty's name?
It is Pumpkin.
Aw, Pumpkin's innocent. Gosh
no! That's
darn
a
it.
really cute name for a cat. Actually,
Yeah.
an orange one.
My children came up with it because they were two.
Very good.
Solid name.
How round is this cat?
She is not very round. She is very small and lithe.
Well, tell her she must get to her destiny.
She must become the orb cat.
Yeah, she must become orb.
All right, I'm gonna try turning down some settings, and we'll see where that goes. So what I was saying was, generally speaking, the health of Rosie seems to be in question, but it might be better to move her to a different location as opposed to a dark forest where she is bound to be attacked by people that are waiting to ambush her at any given moment. I feel that would be agreeable for a doctor to think, perhaps.
Yes, that is what she said, yeah.
Okay. Let me go through. Okay. Before you go, Regina, you notice that there's something off in the environment, different from, or it's a detail that these people maybe overlooked, but you didn't. When Daniel was kind of aiming or like paying attention over towards the direction of his copy's corpse, there really isn't a way for that copy of Anastasia to have come from there. So give me a careful roll, I think. 0. Yeah, there's something maybe off or even there, but it's difficult to tell with a 0. You can either invoke, you're trying to meet or exceed a 3. So you would need to probably re-roll if you want to really try to get a look or an idea of what's there.
Okay, I will re-roll.
Actually, you just need to get a 1. So you could just, you don't have to re-roll. You can actually just spend it for because you have a stunt called If It Bleeds. When you're looking for small objects or clues, with careful, you get a
yeah.
+2. So you could just invoke. What would you like to invoke?
I will invoke Finder of the Truth.
Finder of the Truth. So what they didn't notice, but you did because of your suspicious nature, is that there is, we'll say, a series of broken branches, small, very small, but they look like they could have been left by a foot. And the direction from which it came / the movement that maybe Daniel was noticing earlier, it's inconsistent. Even if basically Voyeur Daniel probably couldn't have done that. He's bigger, so it would have been more branches. And the vampire, the very thin, gaunt vampire that looked like Anastasia, also likely wouldn't have done that because she probably has a very slim profile. So it'd be easier for her to get through things. So whoever did this, they might have been working with the vampire Anastasia in a sort of pincer ambush, or they're still hiding.
So these branches are like nearby where the Anastasia look like is? Where is it?
No, they're nearby where Daniel's not Daniel's corpse is.
Where Daniel is.
Yeah. Well, the
Okay.
other Daniel. Like around here.
Okay. I guess she'll say, hey guys, it looks like, it looks like someone else is nearby or has been recently.
Let's see. Yeah, you hear like a couple more branches break. There we go. Okay. Yes. Sorry, I had a bit of lag. Susanna, go ahead and give me a careful roll. because you are kind of closer at least.
Okay. Okay. Did that roll?
No, I don't see it.
Okay, let me try again. Let me reload and try.
Sure, I could also roll it for you if you'd like, if it's not working on your sheet for some reason.
Okay.
There we go.
There we go.
With the two, you get a sort of glimpse through the brush of a woman moving around here. But it's hard to track them, and it looks like they're moving very quickly, or as quietly as they are moving. I mean, you can sort of hear it in the woods where you are. But there's another one moving. Seems to be moving away from your group, though, not towards.
I think I see some. I'm not sure. But there's a little bit of it in the bushes over there, but they're not coming towards us. And she kind of just points out a couple areas where she saw where it was going earlier. Should we do something?
I mean, Rosie's gonna try to grab her fake self's hatchet
Okay.
and like hold it up like she wants to throw it, but she's just not. She can't really. It's probably another one.
It is best for her condition if we were to retreat.
Yep. Not only is Rosie in bad condition, Daniel, but you can tell the sun is setting rather quickly. You might end up in these woods in the dark without a torch or anything. No flashlight.
Yeah, he'd probably just kind of wave everybody along and start heading north. All right, come on, let's and he'd probably look to the sun and just go, all right, we're leaving.
All right. Your group then heads to the north towards the direction of the graveyard, eventually departing from these strange and accursed woods. In the brush, once you are far enough away, a woman spies upon you, waiting, watching, looking very much like Regina. Different eyes, more bugged and dried, red around the edges, very attentive. Here's something to try. Hold on to your butts. Let's see what this button does. Whoa!
Whee!
Jesus. I don't know about that one.
I was gonna say, is this a newspaper graphic?
Yeah,
Like
really?
the 1967 Batman?
Oh, that was really
Just
weird.
need the sound effect.
Maybe for a later parody.
To the north, you make your way into what is apparently the graveyard marked on the map. And before you, in this strange clearing to which there are no roads leaving, only this road goes in, are a series of graves above the ground. Whether they've been unearthed or simply left there, hard to say. These concrete boxes and scattered tombstones are like a strange oasis of a morbid civilization left here and permanent in a place where the growth surely could take them at any moment. Arranged almost haphazardly, there are 8 of them. And towards the very northern part of the graveyard, the mausoleum, which may contain yet more of these boxes of eternal rest, made from some kind of slate or slab. Things like concrete or carved stone, hard to say without closer inspection. Which is, of course, where we come upon our wanderers and what they wish to do next. You can either inspect the exterior graves here, the coffins.
Where is the map indicating?
Sorry, he's like, I think he's lagging. Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
We
Hello.
can hear you. We're just hoping the lag passes.
And it isn't another crash.
I'm secretly crossing my fingers it isn't another crash. I'm hoping if I don't mention the audio demon, maybe it will think I'm unbothered. I don't know.
Just looks over my shoulder.
Yeah, if we just ignore it, then it'll go away.
Uh,
It's like a bear. You don't want to look it in the eyes and.
All right. I didn't crash. I just had a bit of a lag, and it'd be like that. All right. Yeah, computer's chugging up a little. All right. So, as mentioned, there's one mausoleum. So you have 8 graves, 1 mausoleum here in the graveyard. Whoever this figure is that you have supposedly been waiting for, well, maybe they're inside. What is it that your group would do in this situation?
So in this darkness, is there a mausoleum that I can't see?
Yeah, it's ahead to the north.
And that is what is on the map, X.
Like right here.
Okay. The mausoleum may be some sort of cover at night.
I mean, I'd like to believe that. I mean, if anything, we could get a fire started in there and, close up the doors and wait it out.
It seems like a plan.
I mean, it's that or we deal with however many more things are out there in the woods, not counting animals.
Does everyone agree with that plan of action?
Sounds good to
Yeah.
me.
Okay, I will move your group over there. Here you go. Into the mausoleum. I don't know why Daniel is by himself. Hold on.
Oh, because I was moving my own token.
Oh, there you go. Do you have a mausoleum? Do you want to lock the doors? There are
Yes.
doors with you can put chains or bars across them. Go ahead and give me a who would like to help lock the doors? 2 of you can work on that.
I'll lock them.
I will help.
Okay, Susanna, give me a careful roll to determine the sturdiness and Daniel, you also give me a careful roll to determine kind of the materials used and what you could gather inside of here. 3 and a 5. All right. So once you have it secured, both of you feel pretty confident that what you've done here will at least keep something from just kicking the doors open immediately. Though this is a very strange environment, you are closed in. If something were to break in, you might not have anywhere to go. Could just become a slaughter box if you're not careful. Also, Daniel, it's rather dark in here.
That's why we're gonna get that fire started. So that's
Okay. There are a few scattered, it looks like journals to burn here.
Oh,
oh, we should have grabbed some stuff from outside first. Those might
Just-
have clues.
Bundles of paper.
is there anything in the journals that we can quick read? How fast can you read in this form, Daniel?
Probably not as fast, but I guess if he noticed them, he would take them up and try and read them.
Oh, except it's dark.
I
Yeah.
mean, could I pay a fate point to have a flashlight?
Oh, I was gonna say a lighter, but that works too.
But one of you does have a lighter.
Oh,
Oh yes. Wait, what are we? We're
Just
trying
need
to start a fire?
Well, they need some light to see, I guess, what's on the journals before they burn them.
Okay. I can offer my lighter.
Okay. I will say that Susanna, you are a scholar of the classics, and you have a +2 to clever rolls when you're attempting to search through documents for important information. So go ahead and give me a clever roll, please.
Okay. Uh,
Oh wow. These aren't just any documents. Some of them are just too illegible from however long they've been left here, but there are two in particular that seem to catch your attention. One is a diary that has the initials WD on the outside. And the other is looks like a scattered shot collection of different pages, kind of just quickly, hastily thrown together. It doesn't look as old as the other journals. It looks like it may be at least relatively newer. Which one would you like to read first?
the old journal, with the WNWD
Great.
signal.
Let's see if it shows up okay. Can you guys see this?
Yes, but I can't really read it.
Oh, you can't read. Oh, why
I,
can't
I
you
was
read
gonna say
it?
I can read it.
Okay.
I can.
Oh, weird.
Why can't you read it? Is it just too small for your eyesight?
It's maybe a bit of that, and the fact that my monitor basically got shut on last week, so now it's all in tiny print.
Oh,
I will read it. I will narrate it for you in that case. March 17th, 1939. What I am about to divulge, I would not dare tell to another living soul. I was in the parking lot at the studio. We had just wrapped up finishing touches on early storyboards for Fantasia, which is to be one of my greatest works yet. I was by myself, and I had enjoyed a cocktail with Robert and Cecily, when this woman approached me out of the darkness. She cut a darksome figure even against the blackened gloom, like ink spilled on black. Though in security lights of the lot, I could see her skin was pale, smooth, and cold. She possessed the countenance of an ivory figurine, It had been concealed by her black silk gown and broad hat. "Good evening, Mr. Disney," she had said. "I see you have been ignoring my missives, and so I am here to speak with you personally." It was her, the woman who had been sending those unnerving, threatening letters about Bambi. It was a project that was a mere second string to Fantasia, and an also-ran that would be forgotten in the brief weeks after its release. "Now see here," was about all I could muster before her knife was at my throat. The blade was long, thin, and boy was it ever sharp. I could feel it nearly piercing me right through the windpipe, just the slightest press and pressure, and I would have bled out right there and then. "You will make that movie, Mr. Disney, or I will find myself a Walt who will, believe me," she said. "There are many." End entry. December 14th, 1966. I leave this as my last living memory to the world. She came again to see me in my hospital bed. The woman in black had not aged a day, and though she wore the face of a man now, I could tell from scent and sound, there could be no doubt, like the smell of fallen leaves and crisp autumn air before the fall of snow. "You're sick, Walt," she said to me. "Lung cancer," I said. "There are ways around it," she said. "A Japanese worked on it in the 40s during the war. Cryogenic preservation. I'd heard about it from a few friends, read about it in the science journals, and in those public science fiction journals as well. We can preserve the head," she said. "They will take it with them when they go to the moon. The groundwork has already been laid. Once they get there and set up the lab, placing your brain into a fresh, vital body will be as simple as slipping a hand into a different glove. You won't feel a thing." "And at what cost?" My voice had become choked, cracked. The ravages of disease were impossible to ignore. She only smiled. End entry. August 1st, 2078. In this new form we live, but we are not alive. I once made wonders. Only now do I realize the price of immortality. She cheated me. She stole my soul. The other minds that surround me have already descended into madness and sing in an endless chorus of profits and of dividends of stocks and bonds and shorts and longs, an endless cacophony of nonsense. I write this now in the hopes that it will be seen by any living soul. My name is no longer my name. It has been bought by the Dorbo Group. They own my intellectual property. Help me. I am in hell. Unknown month and day, 2112. Ah!
Distant. Ah.
I was gonna say, yeah, his mic must have like hit it and capped him because there's that immediate disappearance. You love to see it.
And that is the journal of one WD.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. And
Regina,
what
give me a
about
forceful roll. Stress. There we go. Yes, you take 3 stress. Mentally, what you read, there's so much that's weird and wrong about it that it actually is causing you a little bit, well, more than a little bit of distress. Everyone knows what Bambi is.
even 5 people who have lost their minds in the
Yep.
middle of a forest.
Even you. Yes, you could probably keep that. But you know that whoever you give that to is going to also be driven a little bit insane. It's cursed. You got a cursed journal, okay?
I mean, who knows how useful a cursed journal could be?
The other journal that you get, again, this one's a little different. Unlike the WD journal, this one looks like it's a bunch of different pages that have been kind of just gathered and thrown together. And I will show that to you. For those who can't read this, the first page seems to be an entry from someone that says, I do not know where I am or how I have gotten here. I might have gotten here. I found myself in a forest somewhere in the world. It may be in California or perhaps somewhere on an island. The climate is cold, and though I've been walking through it for hours, I have not seen even a hint of the sun or moon. There are stars in the sky, but they look cold and blurry, more like limelight through poked holes in a canvas sheet. My companions and I were driving home on our way to the Palos Verdes estates. My name is, and my companions are, and all blanks where names should be. I hope that whoever reads this at least knows me. It would be embarrassing for it to be found by a stranger. The second page is a quote from the Bible. Curiously, it seems it's John 4:1-6. Which you can read. I don't know that I need to read it. I can read it out loud. It's fine. It just says, Beloved, do not trust every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they belong to God, because many false prophets have gone out into the world. This is how you can know the Spirit of God. Every spirit that acknowledges Jesus, registered trademark Christ, comes in the flesh, belongs to God. And every spirit that does not acknowledge Jesus, registered trademark, does not belong to God. This is the spirit of the Antichrist, registered trademark, that, as you heard, is to come, but in fact is already in the world. You belong to God, children, and you have conquered them. For the one who is in you is greater than the one who is in the world. They belong to the world accordingly. Their teaching belongs to the world, and the world listens to them. We belong to God, and anyone who knows God listens to us, while anyone who does not belong to God refuses to hear us. This is how we know the spirit of truth and the spirit of deceit. The third page is apparently a photocopied front cover page from an essay on Paul's anti-Christology in 2 Thessalonians 2:3, chapter 2, verses 3-12, in canonical context. The actual text of it is, in fact, meant to be too tiny to read, so don't worry about that part. The fourth page, can't tell. Looks like some kind of imprint of a face. Maybe Jesus. Very dark and a very deep blue ink. The fifth page has a poem, and oddly, it seems like the page next to it with an illustration of a similar face to the one you just saw is moving, active. The text on the fifth page is a poem, but it's missing parts. This is the Earl Koenig poem by Goethe. In the poem, a father and son are riding through a forest. The son continually asks the father if he hears something or sees something that is moving through the forest, following them as they ride through the night. The father does not, of course, hear, but the son hears, which is the Earl King. Of course, in this version, as it's copied down on the page, seems to be missing the dialogue from the Earl King himself. Instead, only showing the son crying for help from the father and then eventually dying, which is the traditional end of the poem. Thus ends the journal that you have found, or rather the collection of different journal pages that you have found in this grave. That is the information that you have gathered from the journals. The rest seem to be scattered news articles, papers, journals from various points in history over the past 2 centuries. So from roughly the very late 21st to some of the earliest being towards the end of the 19th century. The journals seem to mostly be in English, though there are a few that are in German and some Scandinavian writings. There is also a few that are in Japanese. Those, you do not know how to speak Japanese. I assume you know some German, correct?
Who of us? Oh.
Yeah, well, what? I don't know. Maybe it's possible that more than one of you speaks German. However, being fluent in it is different. Regardless, the rest seems to be just scattered information, hard to make out exactly why they're here or what they might be trying to say. From that last journal, you could barely gather any kind of coherent information other than someone is very religiously inclined and possibly in need of medication.
That journal is really cursed. I think we should burn it.
What? Why should we burn it though? Like it's someone's journal. I mean, it's kind of personal for them, so maybe we should find out who owns it, and then return it.
I guess, if you feel like carrying it around.
Sure.
Well, with the rest of the journal pages that you've been able to gather, and with Regina's lighter, actually starting a fire shouldn't be difficult. I wonder if I can actually just put. I think I can just put a. Let's
I think
see.
you can do a light. You can add a light source.
Yeah, I probably can. Yes. Well, in here you have some light. Does anyone see that light, or is it? Do I have to? Let me see.
I don't see them yet.
All right.
I do not see these mysterious lights.
You gotta turn on all of the modules.
Yeah. Well, believe me, there is some additional light inside of there because the only alternative is I just put a fire in there. Just a burning.
I see that.
We'll go with that.
Yeah, that's so big. Oops.
Oh, there, that's small.
Oh, whoopsie.
There you go. Nice burning fire of papers. Does that actually? It doesn't provide any light. That's okay. So you are able to kind of like hunker down for a bit and get well, it depends. Do you want to try to get some shut eye, or what is it that you want to do while you're in here?
I mean,
Uh,
we should have a look at it if we do.
Okay, who wants to stand lookout for the night is a thing.
I suggest Rosie gets the first sleep to de-stress, but other than that, I don't care about order.
I was gonna
Okay.
say Daniel probably might go first.
Oh, there we go. The light
Oh,
works now.
light.
Oh, there
Okay.
we go.
I wonder
Just
why
a
they
little
decided to
light as a
work.
treat.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, so who's keeping first watch? Daniel?
Daniel. Yeah, I was gonna say I will.
Okay.
How many watches are there at night?
Just two.
Okay, so there should be like 2 people awake, maybe?
Would you like to keep two people awake?
you know what? That's not a bad idea, actually.
Okay, who's gonna keep watch with Daniel then?
I guess I will volunteer.
Okay. Then the rest of you can get some rest. If you can trust your companions enough to do so, Regina, you can pay a fate point or you can stay up out of paranoia. You will receive a fate point if you do, but you will be exhausted.
I will pay a fate point to wait. So I pay a fate point to not be
And
paranoid.
to not stay up out of paranoia, correct?
I will pay that fate point.
Okay. Then you manage to fight your strong instincts and get some valuable, much needed rest. There you go. Put you up there. Daniel and Anastasia, you two are on watch. As the two of you are now together and it seems like everyone else is asleep, there is time for like a little quiet conversation, but you don't want to be too loud. I mean, it's a graveyard, so who are you going to wake up? But also, it's a graveyard. Who would you wake up?
The dead? Ha 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 ha. That's why the doors are locked. Yeah, I think that I guess if he's watching Anastasia check on Rosie like now and again, eventually he would probably just very quietly kind of lean over and just like whisper to her like, "She all right? She's gonna be good? Or do you know what's
How-
wrong with her?"
How is Rosie's condition?
You would have to do a medical assessment to find out. Now that you have time, you could, but
Before I go to bed, as she's sleeping, before I go to bed, I would do so. So,
Yeah, Rosie would like say that she trusts her, and
so I would tell Daniel honestly whatever I had discovered. So should I roll something for that?
yeah, go ahead and give me a clever roll. You want to fate point it?
Does my hands of God? I guess we're not in combat though.
You're not in combat.
Okay, then yes, I will fate point it.
Okay.
Do I should just, I guess, Angel of the Battlefield again.
Sure.
Should I re-roll it or just?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should.
There you go.
A much better roll. If Rosie doesn't get her medication before, like in roughly a day, or at least get to a hospital, it's possible that she could experience a very serious event because of the stress that she's been through. You also don't know how long you were in that forest before you woke up.
And she doesn't have the medication on her, I assume.
She does not.
Okay. Then I will whisper to Daniel that she will need medication soon. She is weak of heart as I am weak of blood.
Do you wait? So you? What do you mean by you need blood? And he kind of scoots a little over.
Oh, she holds up her hand and says, "Oh no, I am simply a hemophilia. My blood flows more freely than others."
Oh, Okay.
Daniel, it's
Yes.
possible as a man of the forest, there may be some herbs that you can use to help and stabilize Rosie's condition. It will require you to forage a little. It wouldn't save her the same way medication could, but you could help to at least control her condition. Depending on the region, you've seen enough of the local wildlife. If you just went outside, you may be able to do that. Require a little light. You have a weapon. There are plenty of natural herbs and growths around a graveyard. Nice fertile land. The forest does look vital.
Yeah, it is a creepy graveyard, but I could probably find one. I could do it.
Good. In fact, there's a compel as an expert botanist. You know that you could maybe do something to help alleviate Rosie's condition. You just need to gather a little. There are, in fact, creepy doppelgangers waiting in, well, you don't know where. You haven't heard anything outside, though.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll take it. I'll turn to Anastasia. And with that, I'll look at her and look for the door. And I'll in a very, very quiet tone, I'll just go, when we was walking around out there, I saw a couple of plants that might do her some good. They ain't it'll be the most band-aid a band-aid could be, but I won't be more than 5-10 minutes. I mean, you just lock the door behind me.
If you are going out there, I will go with you. But we must wake up the two that are not Rosie, so that they can guard.
No, I know what I'm looking for. I can find it. And worst case scenario, you guys will know I'm in trouble because I feel like he would kind of lean forward a little. I feel like he probably has the revolver tucked in to the belt loop in the small of his back. If he doesn't have an actual actual pistol, somewhere to actually put it, just sitting there. He's like, you'd hear the shots, or shit, I'll come banging. Shaving a haircut.
2 bits.
Alrighty, I'll play the lead, and you open the door, and we'll stay hunkered down at least. I don't know, till morning. These things ain't scared of light though, but I guess it's better than nothing.
What is your name?
Oh, shit! I don't think we've introduced each other to each other. Name's Daniel.
You are a brave man, Daniel. I am Miss Nikolai.
Well, all right, Miss Nikolai, but I mean you're pretty. I was gonna say sharp, but seeing as I watched you stab yourself to death, that felt a little bit on the nose.
I will take it. This is a great compliment.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just a lot of weird stuff. But like I said, though, I'll be quick. There's only 2-3 plants I'd even be looking for. So if I don't see them, I'm already back. But I'm pretty sure I saw a willow out there, and you can grind up the petals of the leaves on them. It's what they use aspirin for. It's a basis for aspirin back in the day.
I think I would be able to do such a thing.
Yeah. Okay. I'll
I
be
draw
back
my
then.
knife. Not at him, just because he's about to open the door.
Yeah, I will like slowly undo the work that we did and wait a second just to see if there is anything that starts to like immediately press on the door to try and quick fix what happened. And if nothing happens in that like beat, then slowly pull the door just enough to like get out, just like slide myself out through.
All right. There's a little door. There should be a little door icon in front of you. You can just click it, and it should open.
Oh, hang on.
You see that?
I do.
All right. Yeah, you can go out.
Oh, hey, it lit everything up. That's nice.
Yeah.
Walk quietly, Mr. Daniels.
He just kind of looks and gives a nod. He doesn't say anything, and then immediately pulls the door shut behind him. So I will close it.
Okay.
Oh no! I just watched everything go black.
Oh no!
The moment you get outside, Daniel, you hear what sounds like a very light ticking. You can't tell from where. Just like a clock. You also hear a small click right as you step out. Ticking, you can't really nail down where it's coming from, and you don't know what it would be.
Cool. Oh shoot. I guess I was gonna try and roll sneaky, but Flower Child would probably help me get the plants faster. So I guess can I do careful?
You have 3 actions that you can take out here.
Okay. Yeah, I mean I wanna try and find some of the like medicinal plants that I know would help for like heart victims and things like that, like, like aspirin medicine, because you can do that for heart attacks and things like that. Just yeah.
Okay. Give me a careful roll then. You're trying to determine where these plants might be. That would be a 2. It's hard to tell in the dark. You might need to get a little bit closer to the edge where the trees are. Unless you invoke.
Yeah, I'll invoke my expert botanist, that maybe just the shape and outline of the trees. I feel like you may be able to discern what trees aren't what I'm looking for.
You see quite perfectly the tree that you're looking for towards the around here. Right here is exactly what you're looking for. It's not only the thing you're looking for, but it's not far. Not far at all. Wouldn't even have to get too far away from the mausoleum to get to it.
Okay. Yeah, then I would like to go there and back.
Give me another careful roll. No, you know what? Actually, give me a sneaky roll. You can invoke or you can let that ride.
I feel like I want to. I feel like I want to invoke on that.
Well, let's see. No, I'll let you. That's fine. With a 1, you're not going to be able to get. It depends. If you invoke, you may be able to get there. If you let it ride, you will still have a benefit, but it won't be quite as good. So if you invoke, you will get a more positive result. Right now, you don't have a negative result.
I guess I'll let it ride, because I could always end up with a worse result on the next one, and that's the one and since that's the last one, I want to try and decent roll all round.
Okay, so you grab and I assume begin to scrape off some of the bark of this tree.
Yep, I'm grabbing all the useful parts.
Okay. once you get enough of it, you turn around to look back the way you came, and you notice that there are very thin silvery strings that have been lined up. You didn't see them or trip over them on the way there because they hadn't been pulled taut, but now they are, and there are very many of them in the way. What they're connected to, who even did this, you were trying to hustle in the dark, so you can't really tell. But you do not have a direct line of travel back to the mausoleum unless you manage to do some very acrobatic maneuvers.
Great. Then I will start, I guess, slowly working my way, I guess, around through in the direction back to the mausoleum.
Okay. Give me a... As you're slowly making your way over, you hear a click, and this one's a little bit more familiar than just the ticking that you heard. Give me a careful roll. A 4. You managed to catch sight of something, reflected starlight on very thin, small glass as you're moving back. It's just in the corner of your eye. There's a man with a long rifle just aimed at you. And he is about to pull the trigger. You get a glimpse of it before he does it. And because of your careful roll, you can duck it just slightly. The blast is loud like thunder. So those inside of the mausoleum can most definitely hear that. But Daniel, well, give me another careful roll. You now have 2 rounds remaining. You can see now that steel wire that is littering your path is also in front of the door. If anyone comes out, they could trigger whatever has been left or laid out here. In other words, that loud gunshot might have been bait. And now you're in a position where the people that you are trying to protect could fall right into the trap that was meant for you in some way. You are between a rock and a hard place. The sniper is reloading his rifle, just putting in another shot like it's a day at the office for him. What do you do in this situation?
Yo.
So do I know where the sniper is about?
Yeah, you can see him kneeling behind one of these sarcophagi.
Okay, I see the icon now. I didn't see it at first. I mean, if he's where I can see him, I guess I might as well try and shoot him first.
Okay, you raise your gun, you can sort of get his location, but your aim is shaky because aiming at people isn't as easy as hitting targets or even hunting. It's different. Why is it different? What is it that's different about killing a man? Your counterpart doesn't seem to have the same problem that you do. What is it in the nature of Daniel that makes shooting a person so difficult? Daniel, you are Daniel. And when you have a conscience, go ahead and give me let's see. In this case, it's going to be Well, you can either choose to do a forceful roll, or you can do a sneaky roll. That depends on you. Forceful would be to do damage. Sneaky would be to cause a distraction to at least throw this guy off so he doesn't have such steady aim on you.
Okay.
If you choose the second one, you do have more of a bonus to it because you won't be aiming directly at him. It'll be more like a suppressive fire or a warning shot of some kind. So you will have it will be mechanically easier for you, but it may not do much to stop him.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how many people are out here. And this guy, you don't know if he's the one who laid those traps.
Yeah. All right.
All right, that'd be a 2. Versus a -1. You managed to you shoot him in, it looks like almost like direct center mass hit with your 357. He's still alive. You can hear him gurgling. And it looks like he's trying to load another round. The exchange of fire left him extremely wounded. How many rounds do you imagine that your gun has? Probably like
I think a 357 has 6.
just 6 straight up, like, okay, revolver.
Straight up old school 6-shooter.
Okay. You hear a rustling around the other side of the tree as another version of you walks out, wide-eyed, with what looks like a very broad curved knife, specifically to cull or pull flesh from bone, a scraping knife. He is setting upon you, but he isn't moving quite yet. He looks a little bit slow. He's sizing you up. He kind of looks at you while running his hand along the spine of his knife. Nice face. Think I'll nail it to my wall. He just smiles.
I'll immediately shift my stance, gun aimed at him, and just go, it's called a mirror, numbnuts, and I will shoot him as well.
Okay, give me a shot. Another forceful roll. I'm going to invoke twice. He always needs more material. And beauty grows from death. He is, as he sets upon you, the bullet whizzing past his shoulder, he makes a mad dash. You can tell now from the smell of him as he gets closer to you. He smells like the earth and like dried blood. His knife is he's trying to get it basically into your stomach. But in the contest here, you could definitely put a hand on him and stop him from getting the blade into you. It's like that first scraping knife. He's trying to just hook you in the gut with this thing. Let's see if he can do it. You got to give me a forceful roll. You can invoke if you want, but otherwise it's going to be 3 physical stress.
Yeah, I'll invoke.
Okay. What are you going to invoke?
You know what? I'll use. Yeah, I'll use my crack shot. Why not?
You want to reroll it or just give yourself a +2?
I'm just gonna do a +2. I'm
All
way
right.
too afraid I'm gonna roll more negatives.
I got you. Okay, you take 1 physical stress then.
Ow.
Yeah. The knife is beginning to press through the flesh. What do you want to do next? You have 1 round remaining.
I mean, if I can't just make a break for it because I've now got this other me on me,
Can we see him from like the
We-
mausoleum?
You can, yeah, you can. There was several
we did hear a
gunshots.
gunshot, so
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna come out because he told me.
Uh,
That's
all
how I know he's in trouble. So,
right,
um,
you're gonna come out.
Unless he's gonna break those wires, yeah.
Well, what I was gonna suggest that I do is, obviously, I don't want to fall into those wires and know what's gonna happen to me, but luckily, I have another me here who looks like he's ready to go into those wires.
Oh
And
no! Ooh.
So I would like to throw me
throw me.
into the wire trap that he set up to probably trap me in.
Brutal.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a forceful roll then, because it's an overpowering thing.
Can I attempt to do an advantage for him?
You can't. You're not there.
I can see from
Yeah, it's okay.
the house though, or the mausoleum.
As you try to wrestle with him, he holds you still, smiles, and shouts, "Anastasia, help me! Help me! Come out and help me!" And puts a hand over your mouth as he's shouting in your voice.
Oh, here we go.
Anastasia.
Yeah, there's
your
just a
friend
lot
has
of
been
muffled
screaming for help.
just
Yeah.
screaming.
The door would open. Oh, that one will.
Uh,
Okay.
In the darkness, Anastasia, you see Daniel wrestling with a crazed madman with a knife.
I do wake up everyone else. At least with a shout, and then
we're up.
okay, yeah, and then I head out.
Okay, Anastasia, as you head out, you take 5 stress
Ooh.
as the wires begin to lacerate through your shins and your legs.
I don't even have 5 stress.
Oh no, you do. You have 3 stress and a mild consequence right now.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But for you, this is a big problem. Right now it's a mild consequence, but you're a hemophiliac. You are deeply cut by those wires. If you do not act quickly enough, that will turn into a moderate and then severe consequence within the rounds that are to follow here.
Okay.
So Daniel, as you're wrestling with this guy and he does this maneuver to pull out your friend, you can see a sly grin spread across his face like a fox or a wolf who's caught scent of wounded prey. He leans in closer to you now that he's got your mouth covered still. So you got plenty of pretty women folk in there. They'd be nice flowers for a bed. Bury them deep. The blossoms will be beautiful come springtime. He's still trying to stab you with that knife. You have an action right now, I'd say, most immediately.
Well, now I'm torn because what I wanted to do before she got all fucked up and lacerated is different from what I want to do now.
What did you want to do, and what are you going to do?
I wanted to fire a shot at the mausoleum to keep you guys from running out, to like kind of scare you guys into
too
leaving
late.
as
That
a
one
warning
messed
shot.
up. That one stopped me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But you did it, and so now it's bad. I mean, I guess at this point I just want to get him off of me and like start heading to the mausoleum, so if anything we can just kind of hold up for the night, because I know at worst, like right now he's only got a knife and a bunch of razor wire and possibly a rifle with some rounds in it, and I think a stone mausoleum can handle that kind of onslaught, but obviously we would have to make a break for it. But if we regroup, we might figure something out. I just need to get to the group to
Right. So what do you want to do then?
Yeah, I need to get this guy off me because he also has a knife he's trying to open me up with.
And your sniper is not dead as well. He is currently taking aim, this time at the mausoleum doors. It seems like they've set this up specifically to catch you like this.
Lamos. Yeah, then I need to get knife off of me, and I need to either draw sniper's attention or I just need to finish him.
You have to decide then which opponent will you, if it's possible you could take out the sniper, or at this range you may have a far easier time shooting this guy with a knife. It's one or the other though, and you are the only one in your group with a gun.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta take out the sniper. I can continue to deal with the knife guy after, but the only one who can shoot the sniper is me, so I gotta shoot him.
Okay. Okay, turns of action. This is where it becomes the third round. Regina, give me a careful roll before he does that. You want to re-roll it for a fate point?
It's my last fate point, but yes.
Okay. Let's hope it goes well for you. A 1. Okay. Something is weird. You notice that once you notice Anastasia get really badly damaged on the legs from that razor wire, you do notice something weird happening with the wire. But it's hard to put it together right now at the moment because all that blood and the gunfire that's happening, you might have to duck out of the way. It's not maybe the first time you've been exposed to gunfire, but you're in an enclosed space. Ricochets are a thing. You are able to determine something might be, this might also be a setup. You're not sure how, but you do notice there's something strange with the wire. It's hard to tell in the darkness and all the chaos. Susanna. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Regina?
Oh, nothing.
Okay. Well, first of all, do you alert the group that there's something weird, I guess?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, just be careful. This seems like a setup, I guess.
Okay. Susanna.
Yep.
Rosie is already ailing with some kind of heart condition. Regina, she seems like she's trying to figure something out, and Anastasia is bleeding badly. As well as Daniel is out there fighting with a guy with a knife, and all he's got is a gun on him. So you can try to drag Anastasia to safety, but you may be putting yourself in harm's way to do so. You would have to open up this second door so that you can fully get her in, and so that she isn't going to get tangled in the wire that may already be around her. You need enough space for it. So I will give you a fate point, but you will be putting yourself in harm's way and possibly opening up a threat, another threat, basically. Or you can resist and pay a fate point.
I will just take that count because I feel like she would see that and kind of just feel like I need to get her to safety, and she will probably rush over and just start working, even if there's probably some strange thing out there ready to just fuck her up.
Okay. Go. So you can move your token about where you feel like it would be near Anastasia.
Okay.
If you can't, you can move your token, right?
I can.
Okay.
Yes. Where is she though?
Right at the entrance to the mausoleum.
Okay.
Okay. So right around there, to help Anastasia and to get her out of there, you're gonna have to get your hands near the wire, the barbs and the hooks and the sharp blades. You do not have gloves. You are now technically in combat, so you can give somebody, including yourself, Well, it's given to another person. You have get down. So the next person that acts can get a +2 now that you've entered the fray. You also have, when you're putting yourself in danger, due to compel, you have a +2 to your defense roll. So whatever happens, you have +2 bonus, and you can give a +2 to somebody else. In this case, go ahead and give me a careful roll because you're trying to help Anastasia without cutting your hands to ribbons. So that's a 3. Let's see how much you take. You would take 2 physical stress without further invokes, but you have actually a surplus of die. I would probably recommend using them if you'd like to not take any stress. It's up to you. In fact,
Yeah.
I'm going to compel you to do that by spending 2 more of my fate points, invoking Deadly Trapper and Steel Toothed, because around the other side is another Daniel watching with a tool belt and several steel implements contained within it. Loops of wire, strings of sharp teeth, metal parts and fragments, all aligned and ready to lash out at anyone with springs, with pressure plates, with any method he needs. Is the Daniel that is a deadly trapper.
Okay, so how many invokes would I need to not take stress?
To not take stress, let's see. That would put that attack at a 9. And that would mean you would take you're basically a 3 versus a 9 right now.
Isn't it at a 5 because of the compel earlier? Or did I get a 1?
You got a 1.
Okay.
And then the +2 from your compel. So a 3 versus a 9. If you spent 3 fate points, you could do this without taking any damage. If you spent 2 fate points, you can take, 2 damage. Yeah, 2 damage.
I'll take the 2 damage then.
Okay, what do you invoke?
I'm going to invoke. Obviously, she is incredibly flexible. So,
True.
and then I believe also a healthy mind, healthy body. She's very aware of how damaging this could be to Anastasia and wants to prevent it at all costs, even if it does mean getting hurt herself.
Okay. In that case, yeah, you do take 2 physical stress, but you are able to control your breathing. You are able to kind of like you're very flexible, so you can like move and snake your arms around and your hands through some of the wire without cutting yourself too badly. So you do get a little bit of a cut, but nothing too deep, and definitely not as deep as your friend Anastasia here. So Daniel, you were going to take a shot at the other Daniel, the sniper, right?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and throw me a forceful roll. They won. You have no more fate points left, right?
I don't, but I do have my sportsman for a
You-
+1, and then I also have the for the love of life,
That's
which is a
true.
+2 to shooting rolls in the defense of a wounded comrade. And I watched one of my comrades get almost blenderized, so that's +3.
Oof. Yeah, he gets a 5. So yeah, that would put you at a 4 versus a 5. But Susanna has get down. So Susanna, while she's running out and helping Anastasia, Susanna, you notice exactly where the sniper Daniel is. Regular Daniel, the Daniel you know, has difficulty with the dark. You do not have that problem. You can point him out to, obviously, your Daniel. Giving him that +2 to get over Sniper Daniel's 5. Is there anything you scream out to your Daniel, the Daniel you know, as he's wrestling with his doppelgangers and trying not to die?
Yeah, she probably sees like, oh, I imagine it's not a outline or anything. She sees maybe the Daniel moves a little bit too eagerly, and she uh notices exactly where he is in the moonlight, and goes right over there. There he is, right there. To your I don't know, to your
Bring out an
west,
o'clock,
or
9
something like
o'clock,
that.
10 o'clock. Yeah. Well, Daniel, you get that call out. You can see that he's about to actually whip the gun towards Susanna, but your last shot goes right through his ear, like right behind the ear, pretty much. And his whole body whips over, slams into the sarcophagus, and then just tumbles onto the ground. Um, he had turned his attention towards her, and it cost him his life. That one is dead. But as you take that shot and are relieved, you hear as this Daniel that you had with the knife is rushing towards Anastasia, wounded prey. When you turned your attention away, he's now on the move, trying to hunt down the very vulnerable, very, very bleeding, bloody Anastasia. He tries to grab onto Anastasia, and this is the detail that you could maybe have put together, Regina, with probably a better roll. Um, the wire went slack the moment that all this started to go down, as if they were coordinating this so that this guy could run in and attack. And then you notice the wire go up again once he's over there. The trapper, you can actually, Regina, give me a careful roll. I know you have no fate points. I will give you 1 fate point back because with your careful roll, you notice that there is a weak point in the concrete right around here where it looks like a heavy brick could be pushed. And there you can hear, now that you're like the closest to it, you can hear somebody on the other side of that wall breathing hard.
Wait, can you tell me where it is again?
Right around here.
Okay. Uh, I
The
mean,
a loose bit of brick may open up part of the wall if it were to be collapsed or pushed in. But you can tell there's somebody on the other side out there, and it's not one of your friends. It may put your life at risk. That's why it's a compel, but you could try to collapse part of the wall or knock part of it out, kind of with a shoulder rush to try and disable whoever maybe could be out there. It's up to you.
okay.
It's a compel, so
My
I guess you don't have a choice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my first thought was I wanted to try to set the other guy on fire. But I will take the compel to go through that.
Okay, give me a forceful roll. Uh, you can hear some of the brickwork crunch, collapse, and fall, tumble, and you can see sort of part of the outside through a crack in it. Um, there were more stones piled up on the outside there, sort of towards the top, maybe on the roof or towards it, and even a small statuette of an angel cherub that eventually tumbles over, collapses onto this guy, and you can hear it break a leg, bone snap as he howls in pain. The wires in his hand actually going loose again, so the wires outside are no longer taut. Um, you managed to knock off part of the terrain to damage this guy on the outside, but he actually will get up on his hobbled leg and stare inside with one wild reddened eye, breathing heavily, trying to, eventually he does lock eyes with you, get your vision. You can see him narrow his eye and the breathing increase in pace. He's getting excited about murder, it seems, and now he has a reason, and a person specifically, to murder. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get all you fuckers. He clearly injured. You can tell his breathing is ragged. Rosie, you you have a weakened heart right now. You have an irregular heartbeat. But your friend Anastasia is in danger here, and this maniac is running up with a knife. You can try to ward him off with your hammer or your hatchet. Which would you prefer?
Well, it's gonna be the hammer. Although, I did look it up, and the type of outdoorsy surveyor she would be is the topographic type. And they have like a sort of a 32-inch blade thing to
Wow.
clear brush and shit. So, over a hammer, she'd probably be using that. But
Okay.
yeah, she's gonna attack this guy. That's not cool. He's crazy. There's a knife. Anastasia's in trouble. Yeah, he's getting the blade.
Okay. Give me a forceful roll, I guess. 3.
It's called
Jesus
a bank blade.
Christ. Do you want to invoke?
Yeah.
Because he got 4. He's gonna succeed with style. If you spend 2 fate points, you will at least meet his roll. If you spend 1, I mean, it might be more worth your while to spend 1 instead of 2, actually, because you'd still meet. Jesus, that's a really solid roll. You got all pluses. What do you invoke?
Insane grip strength.
Okay, so he's trying to pull Anastasia, and you are swinging at him with that blade. He manages to push it and kind of pin it against the wall with his sharp but broad knife. Your grip strength keeps you from getting disarmed, which it seems that he could have done, but your heart condition is making this extremely difficult right now. He is actually going to invoke that against you, your irregular heartbeat. So you actually can feel the strain of the heart in your chest not meeting the challenge of this like physical pressure right now from this extremely strong man. He's a very outdoors, very rugged, as it says in his description, he is a human gardener. And that doesn't mean that he's a human that gardens. He's a person that buries people, which requires a lot of shoveling and a lot of, well, murder. Um, that means that now he actually, with your weakened heart condition, he is going to disarm you for a round, unless you invoke further. If you invoke once more, he would not be able to do it.
I actually can't think of anything to invoke in this case. So
You have a trusty tool belt and a second hand. You just pull out your hammer or a hatchet, and just go at it, fucking akimbo,
Oh, I mean, yeah, if I can do that. I just
Okay.
figured that it would be a different role if I did that. But
Nope.
no, if I can add that, then yeah, I want to invoke Trusty Tool Belt.
Okay.
Take out
Then
the
you do.
hammer. Yeah.
So you manage to whip out that hatchet and just like strike this man, make sure that you do not lose grip of your blade, not giving him the advantage of possibly getting his hands on that weapon, or just using you being off balance against you. Your heart condition is a serious, serious issue. There are no more rounds remaining. A deer walks out from the forest. The Daniels stop what they're doing and begin to walk towards it. And then set upon it with their weapons.
No.
Swing by swing, you watch them butcher this deer. And when they are done, they begin to walk away. Unless, of course, you don't want them to get away with what they did. Otherwise, they will leave. Does anyone want to stop them from leaving?
That's pretty insane.
I mean, I think at this point Daniel is more concerned with making sure that like Anastasia's okay, that Rosie's okay. We suddenly have a lot of people with medical conditions that are in like the worst place to be in having these medical conditions. We have someone with hemophilia bleeding out, and we have very stressed out heart murmur. So somebody needs to start doing work with that. And unfortunately, the doctor's the hemophiliac, so you know.
Okay. Well, if nobody feels in the condition to stop these guys from walking away, they will just leave. It is up to you.
God, it's tempting. It's tempting.
It sure is.
Nah, we're just gonna
I
let.
could throw my only weapon at them.
I mean, how far away are they right now?
Well, I've had them moving, but I would put them like within realistically, if an action was to be performed, they're about right here-ish. They're walking away from the deer that they've just killed. The deer didn't seem to be doing anything at all to them.
I don't see where the deer was for some reason. I might have missed it.
Oh, you have to
It's
be
right
outside.
here. Oh, yeah. Oh. Just put your token outside for 2 seconds and then back in.
Yeah, you'll see that the deer is this blood stain right here. Now it's this deer. So do you want to try to do something? I mean, not only did they kill the deer, maybe that's secondary. They did try to murder you guys and are just walking away.
I do.
You know what? Rosie's gonna go for it. She already did this with her doppelganger when they turned their back on her. Now she's just got a taste for it. And these guys are probably gonna come back, so.
Okay.
Like I said, I think Daniel's gonna deliver the medicine first and try and do some patchwork. But then I am gonna go to rifle Daniel and take the rifle. But that may mean letting them go past first.
I do feel like Regina is very upset about everything, and I would like to try to do something. Yeah.
Okay. For a fate point, you could have. I mean, well, are there any weapons here that Regina could use?
How good is she with a rifle?
I don't know. How good is Regina with a rifle?
There's a rifle and at least one other knife sitting around.
Well, I could use my alcohol and lighter, but that might be a bit difficult.
I mean,
I think she's probably okay with the rifle.
I mean, you could make a Molotov cocktail out of that.
Nah, man. If Rosie sees her heading out too, she'll just toss her hatchet.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, for a fate point, you hit them with a Molotov cocktail, but you'll lose your lighter, or you'll lose your bottle of bourbon for it.
And would I get
Damn.
would I be able to hit both of them at least like a significant
Yes.
amount? Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. Give me a forceful roll. Actually, no, don't give me a forceful roll. Give me a remember roll. Okay. So you light and throw a Molotov cocktail after these murderers, after you watch them try to kill these people that you've been counting on for your survival and murder a deer who apparently wasn't even involved and seemed like peaceful. They go up immediately. The Molotov cocktail lands between them, and they are just set ablaze, violently so. Both of them burn, completely consumed by the Molotov cocktail, screaming as they tumble over, trying to put the fire out, not quite capable of doing it. As you get that that feeling, that rush of righteousness, you remember how good it feels to burn things that are wrong, things that have wronged you. It's good to have that righteous flame in your chest and belly.
This is a pretty fucked up scene to have in a graveyard. Also, that must be weird for Daniel. Just seeing more than
I would
one.
say he. Hang on. Oh,
You have a memory. The fire of righteousness burns within you. You now do +1 to rolls inflicting fire damage, and when you do one more shift of damage than normal. Daniel, you are assessing the state of your friends and companions, I assume, and applying some of the medicine that you have gathered for Rosie. Basically, you guys have now time to breathe.
yeah, I would say he probably works on making the medicine for Rosie, because aspirin is a blood thinner, so our hemophiliac does not need that. So
Oh, that's
he
true.
would probably, if the knife me isn't so fucked up, probably like taking his clothes off partially and like just stripping them down to make bandages and like wrapping her legs and stuff up to stop the blood.
I'll take your offerings of cloth. Thank you. I have it from here, and then I will
All right.
tourniquet my legs to keep them from bleeding out.
Okay. I'll start on this. I was gonna ask if anybody had any water or anything, but and like he does the smallest turn. He doesn't turn towards the fire because he can feel it. And then he just kind of looks at like Anastasia and the others and just goes, it's gonna be a bit dry for you, Rosie, but this stuff will it'll help with your heart.
I can't believe I owe you my life.
I mean, this is a finger in a dam crack situation. So, and he's probably not looking, and he probably like very carefully will take out what few rounds that he has left in the gun, and leave the empty shells, and start using the empty shells to kind of muddle the bark down to a powder. And then eventually I will go to rifle me to take that rifle.
Okay. Regina, real quick, you notice something here in the darkness. looks like a body slumped over that isn't the sniper or any of the bodies you burned. It's an extra one. You don't even need to roll. I would assume that you would at least take a look at it or notice it once it catches your eye. It is one of your doppelgangers, and it has what looks like a booklet that it was clutching in its hand. But this body is bloody. It looks like it's been stabbed to death.
It's
can-
clutching a journal, you said?
It's clutching a journal. Yep.
Mm. Okay, I guess I would let people know that I'm gonna go check this body out. And then do so.
Okay. You first of all, the body has a few notes, or the journal has a few notes. They seem to be about people that you're traveling with, and you're included in that. The first note on you says paranoid, twitchy, drinking habit, smoking habit, burns. Note on Daniel says green thumb, coward, hopes for a hereafter, will be disappointed. The note on Rosie says puts on brave face, likes to lift, pull, push, bully, heart weak, exploit. The note on Anastasia says hides nature, bloodsucker, probably going to throw everyone under the bus. And the note on Susanna says little too normal, probably would give anything to go back to normal, even friends. This notepad, this journal seems to be a book of weaknesses to exploit. The body in question, you can tell she's wearing dark clothes, almost like a pseudo uniform, a military kind of look. She looks like a spy. There's an additional part of the journal as well towards the back, and I will show you that part. For those who cannot read it, it says, according to Scandinavian archivists, the Church of No Return was the setting of the 10th century poem, The Dark Forest. In the poem, the narrator describes a fantastical and dark forest full of strange creatures resembling men and women of nearby villages, but having too many teeth when they smile and too many voices when they speak. The narrator describes discovering a church in the middle of the forest, far from any settlement. Once there, he was seized by his own shadow and thrown onto an altar where the priest of the church threatened to sacrifice him unless he could name the god of the church. Because he could only scream in terror, the priest said that that was the name and allowed the narrator to leave with his life intact. He then describes that in the time to follow, his shadow seemed hungry for his life, going so far as to try and grab at his beautiful wife while he was asleep. The narrator thus details a method of witchcraft by which one may bind the shadow forevermore, a ritual concerning the sounding of a special ocean bell, anointing one's forehead with rainwater, and a bouquet made from the branches of the alder tree and bluebell flowers. The church itself was believed to be a metaphor for the dangers of leading a fearless life in a situation that very much calls for caution and attention. And indeed, the foolhardy narrator does change his ways by the end of the tale. along with an illustration of a very strange, surreal, and dark space. Looks like it was done by hand with charcoal or is an altered photograph. You can't tell. The digital medium, it looks surreal, almost uncanny.
I would bring that book back to the group.
Yes, I will bring it back and show everyone. I found that on my doppelganger, right?
Yes.
Hmm.
So I guess you read it too.
Yeah, I'll read it or show it to people.
Are those flowers that it mentions made up? Bluebells or
No.
whatever?
No, I mean, you've probably seen them before. I mean, they look like bells. They're kind of, and he starts kind of like with his hands, like kind of making a little like cup. You know, they're kind of long. They hang downward. The petals kind of bend, turn out at the end.
Maybe we should keep an eye on these these flowers that are mentioned. I don't know about the rest of this.
Oh yeah,
Oh, shadows. It's referring to the doppelgangers we've come across. That makes sense.
yeah. I mean, it seems kind of obvious. We just, I guess, gotta keep on keeping our eyes out.
Do you think we need to figure out the name of this god ourselves or something? Like, there's a spell or.
I mean, I don't know a lot about words, but if there's a god who doesn't have a name, I guess there ain't no use learning it. I just more so learning what else he did to, I guess, keep it away.
All right, your group.
I was
is
gonna say, do we
public-
have? Oh, I was gonna say, do we have any kind of writing tool?
Oh, yeah. You don't even need to spend a fate point. One of you surely has like at
Okay.
least a pen or pencil.
I was gonna say, yeah. If that's the case, then in one of the journals, I feel like Daniel would try his best to draw what a bluebell looks like the plant, at least like the flowers and stuff, and then with the alder tree, he'll go alder trees. I mean, there's a lot of other names for alder trees. It's a whole type of genus, but that's just like you see anything that's got like a pine cone on it. Y'all know what a pine cone is?
Well, yeah, of course.
Okay, anything with a pine cone on it is going to be part of that family. The ones in particular are the longer ones, not the short little round guys that you see at like Christmas and Thanksgiving and that. And so like he kind of draws like a normal pine cone and then we'll draw the alder tree
Yeah, Rosie's
pine cone.
super interested in the drawings. Ah, perfect. I'll help keep an eye out for these too.
All right. Well, with your injuries being the way that you are and your group probably being exhausted from all the combat, you can try to resecure this mausoleum. You have taken care of these threats on the outside. And yes, yeah, you do have to stitch up your leg.
Yeah, it's time for second watch. So Rosie will volunteer.
Okay.
Gotta wait for that aspirin to kick in.
All right. Second watch. Daniel, you were not terribly injured, thankfully, but I was quite a tussle with these these doppelgangers of yours, and I'm gonna assume everyone moves back into the mausoleum, correct? You guys are all going back in.
I drag
Yeah.
myself into a corner and I assume I have like a first aid kit.
You could spend a fate point for it.
Okay, I think I have one left. So
Okay. For a
as
fate point,
Angel
yeah.
of the battlefield, I would have at least a
Yeah.
first aid kit.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, arrange yourselves inside the mausoleum however you want, and decide who will be on second watch.
This time I think Susanna will volunteer for second watch.
Alrighty.
Yeah, go ahead and move your tokens around. Put them inside. Put them wherever you want, if you could. The bodies outside will eventually stop burning. I promise.
Oh, yeah. I guess can we say that I went and grabbed the rifle and checked rifleman's pockets for stuff in
Yeah,
case I need to
absolutely.
make any rolls on that.
Yep. Regina, where are you going inside the mausoleum? There is that hole you made. I guess you're the only one who's really aware of it.
I think Regina's on BRB.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'll just put her like by it, I guess.
Eh.
You guys are just gonna be aligned pretty much like that.
I'm at the door, yeah.
Well, let's close that door.
Oh, poor Anastasia. Oh man, that must be a bitch to like stitch yourself.
Yeah, it's not fun.
But you know, professional versus like someone doing it all janky.
Hopefully she doesn't remember.
Okay, over, under, over.
Don't pass out. Keep
Just
going.
pass
All
out,
right.
fuck.
She's probably pretty used, like, from her old life, she'd be used to pain, but now.
Just don't pass out. Everything will be fine. Just don't pass out.
Don't pass out.
I-
Keep going.
I
You gotta
would
finish this and open the tourniquets before you lose all feeling in your legs and they go numb.
yeah, I would say if anything, there's probably still a little bit of aspirin left over. That he has kept.
No, I cannot take that. I can't.
But yeah, it's more for the pain. But even he knows that, like, yeah, she doesn't need that until all that stops, and she, yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Just conk right out.
Yeah, just a little snore. I will not be awake during second one.
I would say Daniel probably takes some time before falling asleep, checking the rifle, making sure it's clean, counting how many rounds he has, and then will slowly drift off.
Sure.
Wait, you only see Daniel?
Yeah, like his token in the room.
I'm right. I guess.
Maybe I'll just refresh.
They stole us all in the night.
Alright, Regina's back. She didn't mention the wall thing, did she?
I don't think she did.
It's just a secret. Creepy.
Oh, the wall that I broke down? Or
Oh right, you
knocked over?
punched it. Okay, that's right.
Oh, Mikey's the one with computer problems. Mikey's turn.
Oh, geez. Well, wait a second, I guess. Uh, well, let me know when he's back. You back? No? Okay.
No, we lost him even more now.
Oh, Jesus.
He was in the room and now he's not.
Man. All right.
Maybe 5-minute break time?
Yeah, 5-minute break.
Okay.
Go for it.
I'll be right back. Oh, good.
Did something happen?
Just a doomsday clock. It's fine.
Well, it was either going to be that or Rust. Rust spinning head.
That's spinning. Oh, help! Says Rust as he spins.
I don't know why, but I'm just spinning around and around.
Please save Rust.
He knows not why he spins, only that he does.
All right, is everyone's back except for Mikey? I think.
Yes, though he's sleeping, so that might work out. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Kind of. We'll see. He said he'll be back in a second, so I will wait.
Okay, yeah.
Also, this may need to be a three-parter because it's getting pretty late.
It's enjoyable though. I've been enjoying us as humans fighting doppelgangers.
Oh, good. The message is up.
Your time has been stolen.
Kind of wild that you thought you could pull off the whole Adamus reveal along with this in one session.
Yes. Well, when I had another session's worth of time, I figured I would make this a little longer. What I didn't account for is all the crashes, and I should have.
It is hard to account for all the random crashes.
Yeah, they eat up about a half hour to an hour, depending. So it was like you have to wait, you have to get back in, you have to hope you don't crash again.
Then someone else crashes because they've got the crash bug.
Yeah. Also, your time has been stolen is Leroy's unofficial thing to yell at people when he uses Black Swan.
He does like to steal time.
Thievery is his game.
Oh, yeah. That is literally what Dorbo means. Cause Thievery Corporation, but not on the nose. Silly me.
He's stealing everybody's time in the world except for
He stole-
Guam.
He stole 2 days
That's true, he did steal 2 days.
and is connected to the disappearance of Santa Claus.
What?
And
That
the-
one's new.
Oh, is it? Oops, never mind.
I can't wait till the Christmas episode now.
What?
Oh
We
man,
gotta save Santa.
the Aqua Team has to save Santa.
Yes.
He's also catfished the president of the world and
That's true. He did do that. We
He
saw
really
that.
did catfish.
Yeah.
and sent Walt Disney's Frozen head to the moon.
That one is a little bit. I mean, why would you do such a thing for Walt?
No, why?
Gotta make Bambi.
Yeah, Bambi 2 was a disgrace.
Is that why? Because he had to make Bambi too?
No, well, no, it's just to do it.
Just to make Bambi.
Just to make Walt's life a little bit more hellish.
Fucking Havahad. I'm assuming that was Havahad that he spoke to. And then he did mention she became a man, but they still recognize them. Fucking Leroy.
Well, you guys don't really know.
They're both genders.
Well, in the mythology of the Earl King, there are the Earl King's daughters that are mentioned almost as much as the Earl King.
Ah.
Oh.
But yes, also Leroy is all genders, all inclusive.
Right, of course. He's a quantum being after all.
He's also the Rebus, right? So
And the Antichrist, and the president of a Japanese corporation, and the ruler of the New World Order.
of course.
Damn, he's pretty powerful.
You mean like Satan?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, we did it.
We did this.
We made him even more.
Whoops.
Like he needed the
Mm.
help.
He did not need the help, and we still gave it to him.
Apparently not yet. I'm starting to think, if anything, maybe we
Melanie
should.
maybe had the right idea.
Yeah. Out of all the factions, maybe Hail Vici? I'm just not sure.
And maybe Avicii had some good points.
Please no.
Compared to the Antichrist. Jesus.
Who got Clint? We just gotta,
Lesser two evils for real.
And that's putting lesser very, very loosely defined as lesser.
True. She was the
did
nuclear
nothing
Satan.
wrong. And your police officer.
Hey. That's wrong. Griffith did do everything wrong, though, by the way, for the record.
Yeah.
Fuck
Oh,
Griffith.
definitely. Anyone who says he didn't do anything wrong is objectively incorrect and should
Side,
be shamed for their opinion.
side note, the Rebus is known also for the eclipse because the sun and moon aspects coming together.
Oh,
Enjoy
Yes.
that fact.
interesting.
While we are in this bit of downtime, you can remove any stress that you have. Rosie, because of the medical attention provided by your friends and the risks that they took, your moderate condition has been downgraded to a mild condition. You now just have a strained pulse. And yes, your lacerated legs are healed, Anastasia. They're just, yeah, you just can turn lacerated legs into bandaged legs. And in another scene, that will be healed as well. Or at least it won't be a condition. I mean, obviously, you're human, it'll still have some problems for you, but you'll be fine.
Hello?
Hello.
Ah. How's it working?
I still have one screen.
Well, we can
Uh,
wrap up here shortly. I was
but
saying
it
this.
does seem to be working better. My computer it doesn't sound like it's running itself as ragged to work, which I don't know why it's doing that in the first place. Is all I see is Avicii did nothing wrong, Enya police.
Ignore
Okay,
that.
I think everybody's here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let us continue. I was saying this will probably end up being 3 parts. So, but we will be missing Blue next week because she will be traveling. So we may do the high school game next week if people are cool with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, there's a thing. Yeah, there's a module where you can. It's alternate pause screens. You can change it to things, and you can put in a list of phrases that it will put in at random.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, I know.
Y'all are about to get some real dumb 80s shit.
Yes, 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 yes.
All right, let's pick up and get ready to wrap up here. Let's see. So as you're keeping watch in the night, Regina, through that hole that you made in the wall, you can hear a very light singing. Very, very light, faint.
Uh, uh,
Do you do anything?
guess I'll take a closer listen, maybe first.
It is a very pleasing voice. Light, airy, androgynous. You can't tell male or female. Doesn't sound like any of your companions or their doppelgangers.
Mm.
You can sort of peek through the opening if you want.
Before I do that, I guess I would ask whoever's awake. Hey, do you guys hear this?
Before anyone answers, none of you are awake.
What?
You're all asleep, except for her, Regina. When you go to talk to them, they are out like lights.
Awesome.
Wake us up?
Yeah, can I try to wake them up?
Sure, you can go to check. If you try to stir them, they're alive, but they're not responding. It's like they've been knocked out by something. Perhaps lured to sleep by a song.
Oh shit.
Oh, of course. I guess as being as sneaky as possible, I would like to take a look out.
Okay. What you see through the hole in the wall is you can sort of see, if you angle yourself right, the source of the sound. And in this case, you see you can see the corpse of the deer from earlier and a long-haired figure standing over it, singing and coughing. Singing as if in prayer over the body of the deer, the murdered deer. When you take a look and finally do see this figure, the singing stops and they raise their head, but do not turn towards you first. Seems like they've noticed you even though they weren't looking, but they still haven't turned to face you.
And they stopped singing?
They have stopped singing.
Does that change the state of my companions at all?
Yeah, actually it does. They are sitting up with their backs
No.
against the wall, staring forward with
No.
eyes blank open.
No. Yeah, pretty much all alone.
You are.
Fuck. Well, I liked this respectful deer. And it seems like this person might... Oh, man. But obviously, after everything that's happened, she's not, like, blindly going to trust that.
Right. Well, as you are watching this person on the outside, a heavy cloud passes over the sky, passes over the graveyard, and darkens it to pitch black condition. When you turn back to the cabin, or the mausoleum rather, there is a figure, the same one you saw outside, now standing inside of the mausoleum. And the sarcophagus that was at the center has been demolished, turned into a strange, white, feathery substance that billows as he stands in it. He bows towards you, Regina, and then steeples his fingers, waiting for a moment. You can see that his face, he wears heavy makeup with jet black lips, very heavy eyeliner and mascara, everything white, painted all over the face, or he's just that pale, hard to tell. Very gothic.
Am I allowed any more remember rolls?
You can if you want.
This probably doesn't...
It's an Elden Ring. With a 0, yeah, you try to search your head for this substance of you, something that'll tell you why you're here, or what could be off about this. But it seems the figure standing there points a very long-nailed finger at you, very sharp tip, and then shakes it. Oh, come, thou dear infant. Oh, come thou with me. Full many a game I will play there with thee. On my strand lovely flowers their blossoms unfold. my mother shall grace thee with garments of gold. He gets a little bit closer to you and waits.
Who are you?
Wilt go then, dear infant? Wilt go with me there? My daughter shall tend thee with sisterly care. My daughters by night their glad festival keep. They'll dance thee and rock thee and sing thee to sleep.
Mm. Who are you?
In a sudden rush of black feathers, he is practically upon you, holding you by the wrists and pulling you up so that you're now almost as tall as him. I love thee. I'm charmed by thy beauty, dear boy. And if thou'rt unwilling, then force I'll employ. And you can see in his eyes, though there is an iris, a pupil, a white, there's something behind them, a sort of mirror or void, a black, deep sea or ocean. As he's grabbing you and in this frenzied way, reciting the words to a poem, the removed words now spoken, there is a rush again of feathers of black that fill the room. And the last thing you see as they completely consume your vision is the smiling, wide grin of him, the sharp white teeth. Everything fades then to the most pitch of blacks. And you can feel the beating of wings around you and hear them quite loudly. When you come to, as all your companions do, you are in a completely different space, not the mausoleum. All of you are now awake and standing on a cracked white marble floor. This is, you read about this. This is the Church of No Return. You have been spirited from the mausoleum to this surreal space. Your wounds are still there, the pain that you felt still apparent, and the effort, all the strain of getting through those battles in the long night still weigh heavily upon you. You come to standing up as if you had walked here, but you can see behind you there is no door for entrance, nor would there be one for escape. Only a door that leads deeper into the church itself. Which any of you are free to open. You just gotta click on it. Feel free to move your tokens, or kind of how do you gather yourself now that you're in here? The air inside is quite cold. Gotta wait. Oh, there we go. Okay. The interior here is about 50 degrees, the air temperature, so it feels very cold. And it's also fairly well, at first you think lifeless or might believe it to be, but there are birds, black birds flying kind of throughout this area, and rats scurrying about on the floor here and there.
Yeah, Rosie will go in here.
Okay, Rosie.
Oh, look at the rat. Saw it.
Yeah, you said.
Sorry,
Okay.
a little effect.
Okay, Rosie. The first thing you see, obviously, is this grand open space. It looks, well, it looks like there is a long stretch that goes towards an altar, very much in the back of this cathedral. And it's hard to tell what's on the sides. You'd have to like step forward. Yeah, as you move in, you can see the space is much larger than that corridor. There are areas beyond these broken kind of pews, and the walkway leading forward down the middle is also precarious. There are steps missing from it along with these planks, basically. I will show you again what that looks like, just so you guys can see um, the image. There you go. That's kind of what you're looking at on the interior here. This very broken up space with these very oddly shaped pews and benches, missing panels and planks along the floor, leading all towards a very odd carved altar, wooden altar towards the back.
This place is just like in that book, right?
It has an eerie familiarity, yes.
Did you not see that tall man before we came here with long, dark hair?
Who?
Yeah. No.
Yes, it sounded like that poem from the journal. He told me he wished to take me. And now
Wait.
we're all here.
Wait, he wants to kidnap you? Why?
I believe he was successful.
I mean, he grabbed all of us too, if that's the case. Which is kind of strange. I mean, if he only wanted one person, wouldn't he just take that one person?
Wasn't there something about a shadow grabbing at someone's beautiful wife or something? Maybe that's something like you, Regina?
But why did he take all of us?
I'm sure we will expect to know a name we do not know. Then we will scream in terror, and our own shadows will come and eat us.
What?
That's much to the story, unless we couldn't perform the ritual.
Okay, where are you getting all of this? Like, was this from the poem or what?
Was that not a journal entry?
It was the journal entry, yes.
We
Okay.
have read out loud the journal entry of this church.
You might still have them on you.
Well, we didn't grab any of the stuff we needed. I guess we didn't really have time, but
As you say that, Daniel, a bluebell flower falls by your feet. Just one, dried. Looks like it's been preserved.
Oh, look at there. Isn't that like what you drew?
Yeah, I mean,
It looks exactly like your drawing, as a matter of fact. Like, too much like it.
This seems suspicious.
Is it still in your book?
I mean, Rosie's gonna pick it up and look it over.
The flower, it is dried preserved flour, but it is one.
We should hang on to this, I think. And in a church, keep an eye out for a bell, you know?
A bell of the ocean?
You never know.
Yes, I think we should be very careful, obviously, in here.
Well, you guys can choose to proceed ahead. Or you can search the room that you've started out in if you want. It's up to you.
Okay, what do we roll to search?
You would just give me a careful roll. With the 3, there are. So this floor is made of marble. You know that much. It's been cracked, probably due to age and the fact that this church, or at least this area of it, looks very much abandoned. But besides that, you find empty Pepsi cans and a couple of crumpled up magazine ads from the 1970s advertising an electronic watch, as well as some pill bottles that have been just scattered about. Prescriptions have been blurred on them, smudged over time through water damage. It appears water does leak from the roof into this area. None of it seems exactly relevant, but it is odd how much of it is time displaced in a way. The magazine ad looks old. The soda cans, fairly recent. And the pill bottles seem like they're from a style in the, we'll say, of the 2000s, made of plastic, childproof cap, that sort of thing. Not really possible to tell what kind of medication that they would have been for. Some of the pills that may still be inside are, well, you would need a doctor to tell you what they might have been, but standards and manufacturers have changed over the years.
Does anyone remember what year it is?
Uh-oh.
Give me a remember roll. You don't.
Oh.
Oh, I'm so stumped.
Should we all try to remember what year it is? Or
Why not? Make it a free for all. The rest of you can also try rolling remember if you'd like.
Have you haven't been adding like how many of ourselves we have killed, right?
I have not.
So we should, if we remember killing one, add a 1 to remember.
No,
Okay. That'll come at specific times.
it will.
Okay.
Susanna. Damn. Regina.
Alright, some of you are like triggered.
Anastasia, you do not have any
I
idea.
never remember anything. That's okay. I'm happy being human.
Same.
Okay.
Danny's not even gonna try.
I think you
He crashed.
did he?
Daniel crashed,
Yes,
yeah.
he
God
crashed.
damn it.
Welcome to Crashathon. Really?
Oh,
Welcome to the other side.
oh no! God damn it. Well, we'll just wrap up. Yeah. Okay. So two of you, Regina and Susanna, you remember? Yeah, the year is 2121. And the clothes that you're wearing are kind of old fashioned. I mean, you could still wear them in 2121, but they're kind of retro.
Do we know what time frame or?
Hard to place. Could be like 40, 50 years ago.
Okay.
Textile and pattern standards had to change due to the world wars, the back-to-back World War III and IV that took place. So
Ugh.
yeah, a lot more synthetics these days. And it got worse as time went on. So there's still like somewhat of a natural blend in some of your clothing, but mostly synthetic, corporate approved.
I think it's 2121.
Yeah, I agree with that. It should be 2121. Which goes a little weird, but I definitely remember it being 2121.
Alright, that's some footing.
Ooh, is there a date on the pill bottle?
No, it's all smudged.
Mm.
But the last journal entry was it? I forgot. 100?
2078.
It was the last journal entry that from WD's diary
Mhm.
was 2112.
2112.
So as you are like starting to remember what year it is, you're also starting to remember that like this place is not, it doesn't make much sense to you. If it is 2121, places you're from, the things you remember don't seem right. They're almost patchwork. Memories that you have, movies that you've loved, music that you've listened to, all seems kind of hodgepodge. The continuity's just a little bit off here and there. You might remember going to a place, for example, that doesn't even exist anymore because it was taken out by a war or another country has taken over that area. What used to be Russia is now the Red Kingdom. What used to be Britain is now the European power, that sort of thing. It's starting to click a little bit more that there's a problem with the continuity here, with your memory and with what you can actually pull out of where you are and what you've been doing.
This is so crazy. Nothing makes sense. We need to get to the bottom of this. And
I'll say.
can Rosie try to go into the next room?
Yeah, of course.
I just saw a tiny little, tiny rat run across
Yeah.
the floor.
Yes.
Is this like a floor or are there walls here?
Well, it's hard for you to like see. It's not quite, there aren't quite walls, but the area beyond it seems dark or dim, almost blurry. Looks like it's rendering almost. It's like reality is being added or rendered in.
Uh,
Reality is broken here.
Little bit.
Oh, I hate this.
I think I'll do.
Is there anything of note in this room?
Besides the broken planks leading along the way, not well, kind of. Give me a careful roll. Down beneath where these planks are missing in the space underneath the floor, you can see it very clearly, Rosie. There are twisted, mangled bodies trapped beneath there. They look desiccated. One is a clown with a bright red wig. Another looks like they are wearing some kind of kingly outfit with a metal crown, gold. Another is looks like a woman with red pigtails. The third seems to be dressed as one of the great Roman rulers, the emperors of their day. And it just goes on like that. There is a man wearing a round white head with a ice cream cone cap. His body is broken in what looks like 9 different ways as he was twisted around in the steel workings beneath this walkway.
Oh my word! Look at here, everyone. What in God's unholy name?
You can hear there is a voice that whispers raspily up at you from the darkness, and a very long, thin hand that tries to reach up and grab at your ankle. Can you hear me?
Hey, yes, I can.
Good. The hand slowly retracts back down into the darkness with a sickening crack sound.
Wait, who are you?
We are not allowed to say our names. On and see. There can be no more talking. Instead, there was only quiet, desperate sobbing from the darkness.
Just what is going on? And Rosie's gonna push to the next door?
Okay. Open the door. You can click on it. Go ahead. You can give it a click. There you go. And now that you're out here, Rosie, you can see the much larger space of this church. Each square seems to be of a different pattern or design, randomly assigned, it seems, with text. Sometimes characters in different languages scrawled across them, either embedded or etched, inlaid with gold that has been scraped or flaked, sometimes with charcoal, sometimes with what looks like human blood or burned into the marble. This very odd, dead patchwork world. With a flourish of, we'll just put Daniel up here, why not? With a flourish of black feathers, once again, the figure manifests from seemingly thin air with a turn and a bow. Welcome, welcome to the Church of No Return. I believe you have a journal with the ritual in it that could help you in this situation. Unless I'm the one who left it, of course. That may be the case. A wild goose chase. A fun little game as you run and play through the desperate wilds, which once held my name. I am your most beloved Earl Konirk, the Alder King, Arleka. I have many names. and you do as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 souls who made a pact with me to stay alive. Though, funny thing, I think the names on the pact are much different from those you now wear. He leans back, very smug. Indeed, I made an agreement with different people, not with you. He just starts to laugh and lean backwards, very pleased with himself. I've stolen your time! He stops and stomps down on the ground, cracking the marble. A complete and total victory for the Earl Koenig, for the Antichrist. You are trapped here. I won't even say for an eternity. It could be 1 minute, 5 minutes, or 5,000 minutes, 5 million minutes, 5 quadrillion minutes. You have no means to count them. I've won! He throws his hands into the air and starts dancing, almost childlike. I did it! I outwitted you! You've fallen for it! And the looks on your faces! The looks on them!
You, you just said that you did some sort of deal with some completely different people.
Yes,
I'm a
technically, that I mean, our names may not be the same, but we may not be bound to the same rules. I don't know. It seems like a weird little situation we got here.
good sir. I'm afraid I do not remember you.
Yes, that is the point. That is the point. You don't remember, so you have no qualm. I will speak to my lawyer on this one, but I'm pretty sure I've won. I know I've won. There's no way I haven't won. I'm the smartest organism in any dimension. He points at his own head furiously.
I
How
mean,
couldn't I win? He folds his arms. Really?
Of what are you winning, sir?
Game! I've won! Look! Around you, I've won! He just motions towards this dead and desolate space.
I mean, what did you win though? Like you said, life or a game, or what game? I don't recall signing up for a game or anything like that.
Honey, do you want praise? Because we could just tell you did a good job.
No, I want fear. Fear right now. Fear is what I want.
But what does it matter if your opponents had no idea what this game was?
Okay, fine. I am not a child. I will do this, even Steven, and then this time, when I win, I need you to say, damn you, Earl King. Okay? Right?
Um, I can't really promise I will, but
Uh,
uh, if it seems all right to do it,
some of us need a hospital.
Oh, hospital, just get a new one. What is it?
you can't just make a new hospital. You have to build one, and then you have to staff it with nurses and doctors who know what they're doing.
What are you rambling about? Please.
Look, all right, play your game. Damn you, Earl. uh,
Earl Koenig, yes. Or Elf King
Er,
is fine.
er, Earl Koenig?
Koenig.
I,
Oh my
I'm just gonna call
goodness.
you Elf King, cause I can handle that much. Damn
Oh.
you, though.
Oh, who needs a hospital? He just taps his foot, which has a
uh,
very sharp, pointy boot.
uh, I believe Anastasia.
Honestly, I think all of us could probably use an evaluation.
Oh. Okay, we'll do the evaluation. Then back to the game.
I mean, I could use a psychiatrist after all this.
What is the game? Does it have rules?
Yes, the game does have rules. It's my side versus your side. And when I win, then I dominate every part of reality. I have all knowledge, and nothing can ever stop me, of course.
And
But
why does defeating these random 5 humans give you all of that?
You're ruining my glow right now. Stop it! Stop it! Stop!
we just. But I.
He just starts pouting.
But
Wait,
we
I-
need to know the rules first, or whatever. I mean, like, how are we supposed to lose if we don't know anything?
Well,
I enjoy a game.
No, you don't. He just pulls out a small broken chair and sits down on it in front of the altar in the back. Ugh.
I do not.
He takes a cigarette out from his long feathered robe and puts it between his lips and lights it.
Be
leans
careful of
back.
your dark makeup. I don't want it to run.
It's fine. Just looks around, disappointed, frustrated. I spent all this time, and you don't even get it. You don't even get it. None of you has the vision required to feel even the least amount fearful. This is why I had to sink Atlantis the first time. I'm going to again, just because of you people. I've decided just now. I can't let this go on.
Okay,
Atlantis
first of all,
exists?
you know, smoking's bad for your health. You should really cut down on that.
Oh, damn
Your
it.
lungs, but your lungs will thank you for it. And secondly, Atlantis? What's that?
I,
He just he puts a hand to his temple.
I think it's from a movie.
Are you not having
Oh.
fun?
No.
Movie?
It seems more fun maybe if your opponents know what to fear.
Is it?
Fine. No, nice try. He stands up and kicks the chair away. If I tell you that, then the pact is back on. No, I don't think so. He gives you a sly look. Nice one, really.
So this Atlantis, like, are you playing like make believe? Because last I checked, Atlantis isn't real.
He throws a cigarette away, which falls into a pile of incredibly important documents, historical texts, and just lights them ablaze immediately. That's exactly it. A game of make believe. In a way. The entirety of human history is actually one big long game of make believe. Starting, of course, with the first human, and now eventually ending with the last one, and some things in between. I'm fairly certain they're important, but I can't be bothered to know every single thing yet. Why am I wasting my time? Obviously, you came here because you were waiting to find out who the mastermind was behind all of these strange, spooky occurrences, right?
No, I really just wanted to get home. And
This is your home.
what?
Now
No,
and
no.
forever, it is your home. You are here, home. It is here.
I I I I I don't. I'm a yoga instructor. This definitely isn't home. There's no mats or anything here.
Oh,
I do not remember a home, so this could be available to me.
Could we see the contract we signed?
I don't remember signing any contract for that matter.
I don't believe that I'm obligated legally to show you a contract that you didn't sign because it wasn't you. I also am not contractually obligated to let people who haven't signed agreements with me go in any way. So we're at a bit of a stalemate then, I suppose.
But
Now, there are endless tortures here, don't get me wrong.
isn't that kidnapping though?
Are you joking with me right now?
No, like legally, did you just kidnap us?
Legally speaking, laws don't apply to me. I am the lawless man, or haven't you heard? Of course you haven't. You don't know anything. Just a yoga chick.
It's kind of rude.
Oh no, I'm a bit of a rude dude. He just shakes his head. Sorry about that one. You know what? I think that it'd be better if I just unleashed a world of terrors upon all of you and come back in a century, perhaps two. Perhaps I forget. That's been known to happen. And then when I come back, maybe I'll get a little bit more respect for all the hard work that I, the Earl Koenig, have done to execute this miraculous, genius, diabolical plot. And I will have you all write your stories to pass on to others. Perfect. Well, then I'm going to go, and then I'll let you all figure it out.
Oh, so the thing we were already in the middle of. Okay, so yeah.
Okay, but do you have a paper or anything to write on? Because eh, I mean, how do you expect us to write?
Right? No, the writing comes after. My God. Is this? I'm sick of it. I have a world to run, a new world order. I was here to celebrate. You were all going to be the bottles of champagne. I pop your head off. I splash you all over the models and the sports cars. And why are you ruining this for me? I hate this. I'm mad.
If you're
I
mad,
feel
think
like you
about
should just fire your screenwriter for this one.
Fair enough.
I like to
Come
talk
in
to the
here.
manager.
The deer!
You're fired.
But that's really rude. You shouldn't just say that. You aren't you supposed to be nicer when you fire someone?
Are you fucking kidding me? I'm not supposed to be nice. You know what? Enough of this. Kill them. He motions towards each side of the room with broad open arms. Wait a second.
I thought elves were supposed to be nice. Like
Can I?
little workshop workers.
Oh, using the bowl.
This is all very, very mean. Can I
I
speak to your
said
manager?
wait. He looks down at his watch on his wrist. And
Oh no!
there.
No!
So many of us.
Well, I'm sure you'll have plenty of time to figure out exactly what you're doing, why you're doing it, and eventually you'll find the motivation to maybe give a shit about why you're being torn limb from limb by an impossibly large horde of doubles, doppelgangers, changelings, and the like. Shapeshifters of some kind, or maybe aliens. I don't know. Whatever little books you like to read before you tuck yourselves in at night, you'll now be able to live out in the real world.
Ah,
Well, the semi-real world.
So this is some sort of hell.
I prefer the term purgatory.
Isn't that just hell with extra steps?
I don't know. You'll have to tell me. The crowds of shapeshifters, as he mentioned, are getting closer. Do you have any last words before you're rent limb from limb, your bones are snapped, and so on and so forth?
Like a one-liner?
No, I don't think that's really in your arsenal. Just a oh no is fine.
Goodbye,
Hey,
Mr. Rocking. It was fun pretending.
Again, I think this is all a little much, and maybe a little therapy would do us a little bit of good here.
Yeah, maybe you could use some yoga.
I'll consider it. Well,
I mean, sure, I can teach. I
no.
just
You notice that the crowds of your doppelgangers are beginning to vibrate violently. At this moment in time, reality as we know it, local reality, is beginning to devolve, quickly lose coherence. I don't expect any of you to know what that means, but it doesn't matter to me at this point. The only thing that matters to me right now is pretending that maybe one of you, curse my name as you are completely demolished with none of your wacky, wild special abilities and cursing. Oh, you almost got me there. Can save you. No magic, no interference, nothing but complete and total destruction. No last words either, because your half-baked comebacks and retorts have grown old and stale, like the bread that I will make from the bones of your corpses after they've been demolished and powdered. You're even draining my will to live. Farewell. He gives you a small salute and just vanishes from sight, fading away. As these hordes of doppelgangers are practically multiplying and crawling all over one another and writhing, clawing walls of pure madness.
Well, I suppose I was gonna die one way or another.
this is all just very rude, and I don't like that man whatsoever. I don't want to die. I really don't.
Then we best remember whatever powers we once had.
You five are surrounded by moving, writhing walls of faces, all hungry for your blood and flesh to tear you to pieces to satisfy whatever wicked, evil rage brews beneath these simulations of who you are. Although their identities are just as fabricated as your own. And still the words of the Earl King ring through your head of magic lost and forgotten, of his total and complete victory. What will you do? The odds seem endlessly stacked against you. Hilariously so if you're the Earl King, but if you're the victim of it, not as much.
Are the papers still burning?
Sure.
Yeah.
I-
Let's just set the whole church on fire.
You just want to set the church on fire? So,
Yes.
well, you're missing that bourbon that would have been useful for something like this.
It's made out of wood, right? The church.
No, it's marble, and I mean there is wood, but
Yeah.
you can try. It doesn't look particularly flammable. I will say that much.
Well, what if she keeps an extra flask in her pocket? Just
You're not
kidding.
gonna settle. I mean, even if you did.
She's-
As you are surrounded by these forces, there is a spray of machine gun fire that causes them to all take a step back and away from you. And a glass, just a window from the ceiling, breaks in, and someone rappels down with an assault rifle tucked under his arm. This man appears with wild hair and a sort of dead expression, angry. Drops down onto the ground, stands up, loads another magazine into the rifle. He looks around. I see I've made it just in time. You can hear him click his neck a little and a small whirring sound as machines recalibrate.
Who the hell?
I am the director of Rivers, and I have come to personally remove you from this situation. No other agent could be risked entering this fiend's domain. Greetings. He finally loads the assault rifle and levels it at these mobs. Let us begin the operation. And as he fires off into the crowd and sprays of gray silvery blood begin to spill out into the air wildly, you find yourselves in the midst of a complete and totally chaotic clusterfuck, which we will resume next session.
Woohoo!
Yay.
Damn.
Would you ask if that was Tommy?
Might be.
Tommy
90%.
Tobacco?
No, there's 90% of the president's son somewhere
Oh,
else.
Oh.
And he came in with
Tommy
a gun
Lee.
with a lot of, yeah. I was wondering if maybe it was here in not hell, purgatory.
well, I guess you'll have to find out.
Yes.
Find out next time on
Thick flesh.
JoJo's Bizarre Hagaburger.
Definitely bizarre. Definitely have a good one.
We could use to be a little more scared.
It's hard to be scared when you don't know who the person trying to scare you is.
It's
Well, that's
like
kinda-
nice doppelgangers.
Right is
I guess
left
that's
already,
the point. Yeah.
and down is up. Everything it's just all nonsense all the way down. And our lives are constantly being threatened, so it's like, alright, well, burned out on adrenaline here, kind of thing. But also, it's true, it's like, yeah, we don't remember who we are.
Yes, that was implied to be the great flaw in his genius plan.
Yes. Okay, good.
That was yeah. Yeah, you
He's
don't
like
know
talking about all this stuff. We have no fucking idea what he's like. What?
It's exactly how I envisioned it in my head. Don't worry.
Okay, good.
Nobody's gonna know. Yeah, he's gonna appear, vamp. Nobody's gonna know what the fuck's going on, why they should be afraid. And then the usual player default is like, who are you? What are we doing? Some kind of smart alecky comeback, and that would obviously irritate a guy who's gloating about
Yeah, and he's like, "This is why you came here." I'm like, just trying to like like get out of here. Actually,
Yeah, like I have a yoga class to attend to. Where the hell am I?
Probably got a mortgage, gotta get back to ASAP. Just really normal, dumb shit.
My rent's overdue, and my landlord's about to kick me out.
Probably, in theory, maybe. Gotta find out.
Oh, I don't know. Nobody's gonna really remember this, I guess. But I'm pretty sure the chief told you that the director of Rivers is from the moon.
Oh, interesting.
Oh.
I feel like it is maybe obvious to, but no, I guess I'll find out when you find out. Probably not.
I'm really curious about this Rivers director guy. Even though we got like
We're all
10
curious,
seconds.
yeah. We'll find out. We'll find out. Next time on JoJo's Bizarre Adventures.
Yeah.